to the details now. How many Nigerians have been empowered so far since you assumed office? And how is the ministry following up with those who have benefited from this program to ensure that they use it in the right manner, which will give confidence to the government to support more Nigerians? Then on the flip side, I would like to ask what's the plan your ministry is having for young people in the country? We know that the large chunk of our population are young Nigerians, who many of them are leaving school and maybe do not get jobs. But your ministry, what plans do you have to empower Nigerians who want to go into small, medium-scale businesses, giving them opportunity to get access to loans and grants which will support them to develop the businesses? We ask this because we know that one of your core mandates is to reduce the poverty level in Nigeria. And of course, if we're going to reduce poverty, we need to give people what they can do to earn money. So I'm giving you that question in line with a program that the former administration initiated, the Npower, which we also know is under your ministry. So I want you to align all this aspect together, Honorable Minister, which I know you will be able to do, touching on the Npower, how we want to support youth in the country, and those who have benefited from the conditional cash transfer, how well have they been able to use them to give confidence to the government that this is the right approach to managing poverty in the country?
Good. So presently, I don't want to call giving people rice, beans, empowerment. That's just an end hunger project. And sharing of the rice, food items, we have done a lot of that since I came on board. But for me, that's just a stopgap, and it's under the end hunger project, right? The structured interventions will actually start with the conditional cash transfer, which will be directly going to 15 million households, which amounts to about 62 million Nigerians. The next initiative, which we're putting on the table, is the provision of non-interest, zero-interest loans to small and medium-sized businesses. So we'll be giving them 50,000 naira under the Renewed Hope Yaloja Fund, which is also known as the Market Woman's Money, and of course the Renewed Hope Jari funds, which are capital funds for traders, and then of course the Renewed Hope Ugbo funds, which will be for farmers, and that's about 300 naira for poor farmers who have farmlands and are ready to go into the farming season and will be able to pay back this non-interest loans. That's another program, and that is targeted to cover 1.5 million households, of course, which if you have 1.5 million, what it translates to having an average of 5 persons in a household. Of course, in the northern part of Nigeria, that would amount to about 9 persons in a household. Now coming to Npower, the program manager, the national program manager for Npower will soon give a press release. I have in several forums tried to discuss the issue of Npower. And what I want to state very clearly today using this medium is that we must go back to look into Npower and understand what the problems are. So we would basically, in quote and unquote, suspend the program for now until we are done with proper investigation of the Npower program and the utilization of funds in the Npower program to know how many persons exactly are on the program right now, how many persons are owed and what they are owed. And going forward, we are totally restructuring the Npower and expanding it. There's a whole lot going on. First, we met people who are supposed to have exited the program since last year, and they are still on. They tell you we are still teaching, we are still doing this, we're still doing that. And then you contact the schools or the places where they claim they are teaching or doing whatever they're doing. They are not there. They are not working. They are not teaching. Yet they continue to count that they are being owed 8 months, 9 months. As a new month comes, they say it's 10. The next month is 11. The next month is 12. We've asked for reports from the school, from the field, And over 80% of them are not there. They're not working, yet they're counting salaries. That's one. Secondly, most people are supposed to have exited since last year, September. Oh, they say they're supposed to be paid an exit package. They're supposed to be paid this. They refuse to leave the program. Other persons who were brought on the program, of course, have even moved on to getting jobs and other things which they do for a living, and they are not really working under the Npower. A very little few, very, very little, less than 10% of persons enrolled on the Npower. Remember, the Npower has just enrolled so far about 910 persons under the skilled aspect, and I think about 910,000 persons under the skilled aspect, and about 60,000 persons under the non-skilled aspect. So in a nutshell, about 1 million persons have been enrolled under the Npower so far from its inception up until this point. Now, these persons who have been enrolled, within them you have Batch 1, which has finished some probably 2 years ago and should be off the table, but are still shouting Npower, Npower. You have the Batch 2, which has finished or should have finished since September last year, but are still on the table, still shouting Npower, Npower. When you came on the program, there was a clear signature that stated this is the number of months that you're going to be on the program before they exit you from the program. Once that month has expired, you should know that your contract between you and the government that you signed has expired. Your continuous stay on counting months and counting days doesn't help. Then those who were brought in as the last batch, which have not been fully enrolled, some of them enrolled and they have not been paid. Some are amongst those who are saying we're being owed for 8 months, 9 months. Some persons have truly put in their efforts to do the work and deserve to be paid by all intent and purpose. And those people we will pay. But please, we want to make it very clear that you stop counting months. We want to totally, completely restructure the Npower. As you go in every single day to wherever your point of primary assignment is, we will enroll Nigerian youths in their millions across the country. We will enroll them. This is now the renewed hope job creation opportunity. We will enroll Nigerian youths in their millions across the country.
Okay.
And as you go in to teach, or you go in for one health or whichever one it is, we must have verified ways of knowing whether you're there or not. We sent independent monitors 2 weeks ago into the field, and they're nowhere to be found. Yet they said you are being owed. You're being owed for sitting in your house and counting the months. All of these are challenges which we have to work with. And of course, at the back end, looking at those who are managing it, the consultants that were brought on board. Why was money kept and not being paid to people who should be paid?
Just a moment, Honorable Minister.
Those are